So, what have we here? It is CrimsonTide in the top left of Cosmic Sapphire. I like Cosmic Sapphire, it's one of my favourites. CrimsonTide up in the top left and SpaceLobster in the bottom right. Cosmic Sapphire is a really pretty big map. Not the biggest, but it is bigger than Royal Blood, that's for sure. So both of these players as Terrans, and so far so good. Nobody doing a proxy racks. Nobody has pulled all the workers and doing some sort of drone rush. CrimsonTide double gas CrimsonTide. So I wonder, and the quick transfer into gas, which makes me strongly suspect this is not a mistake, that this is a plan. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen here. There's a Reaper coming first, and I like Reaper first from Terran, because all that scouting is so good. You can get up in your opponent's base, you can have a great look around, and there's nothing anyone can do to keep a Reaper out this early in the game. Marine out the front, very good at preventing the SCV scout. I'd prefer this Reaper though, CrimsonTide, if it was in your opponent's base. So second Reaper building. This factory, this is so early. This factory that is being produced, I wonder, what are we saving up for? What are we going to see? Is it going to be a Thor rush? No, Hellion. Interesting. Barracks. I don't understand what the early double gas was for. Don't quite get it. Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't the well-laid plan that I thought it was. Anyway, while I've been thinking about that, Reapers have indeed come in and are getting some work done. So let's see how they do. Here they come. Let's see what the Reapers get done. So in they come, start working away on these probes, on these SCVs. You need a fair few Marines to actually take Reapers out, because not if the Reapers don't fight back. 2 Reapers will take out 3 Marines, because you can use the grenades to bop them back, and then the Reapers heal themselves, but of course the Marines don't. So you can bop the Marines about the place, chip away at them, come back at them and kill them. Yeah, but as it has turned out, let's take a quick look at the damage done. So in the end, 6 workers killed. Not bad at all. I mean, you'll swap 1 Reaper for 6 workers. That was unfortunate. All day long. Now, SpaceLobster has got a reasonable number of Marines. Oh, what have I done there? I've literally managed to rewind it to the start. I don't know how I've done that. That is just hugely disappointing. Let's go times it. I don't know what I pressed, Steve. I pressed something though, and apparently there's a keyboard shortcut that rewinds it to the start. So yeah, SpaceLobster had got a reasonable force up and does have this earlier expand. So even with the loss of those 6 workers, yes, they will be behind in workers for sure. But with the earlier CC, they can replace them. Now, I say that, and as I say that, they're not actually building workers from this new CC. They are significantly behind in workers. This command center is not finished up, and this one hasn't built an SCV yet, I don't believe. So, yeah, let's find out what the army supplies currently look like. Extra MS ahead in army. Now, what is that army though? We've got Reapers, we've got this Hellion. Yeah, Reapers and a Hellion. It's not much, is it? It's not much. Sorry, SpaceLobster ahead. SpaceLobster ahead. Yeah, Hellions are pretty good, especially with the Blue Flame upgrade. They can get some stuff done. They're going to go to work on these Marines, and in general, in a straight up fight, a Hellion isn't a great tool, but they're pretty good at roasting stuff. So, shoot and run is kind of the way they work. Don't get too close to the Marines, because the Marines will shoot you in the face. Reapers are going to come back in for another poke, and let's see what they do this time. They're actually working on a building here, and I get that. if they'd come straight in and started working on the SCVs, they potentially could have got quite a few SCVs done by now. But as it was, actually only an extra 3 SCVs killed. 3 Reapers, you'd have hoped could have got slightly more done. But anyway, this is good damage, all things considered. It does put extra MS 7 workers ahead, and let's see what that means in the income tab. What it means is that, in fact, well, you can see there's a significant gas advantage. The mineral's pretty flat though, and that may be to do with mules. Are there any mules here? There aren't, and given that the CC has that much energy, it doesn't look like there has been. So it's the mules making up the difference. Now, notably, in the production tab, there's no SCV building here or here. So extra MS putting all their attention into this harass and none of their attention into building workers. And that could come undone for them. You do need to keep up both. Pro tips time. Put your command centers on a control group so that you can continuously build workers without even having to think about it. How do you not see this, SpaceLobster? Look, see the enemy unit that is in your base. Needs to burrow, needs to burrow. Is it going to get burrowed? Does get burrowed. And let's see that again. Let's see that again. Let's see it in slow motion. So pretty sure it was this one. In it comes. I don't know if there was intentional targeting there or if it just happened to find the sweet spot, but bam, that is brutal. That took out a lot of SCVs. Nasty. 14 workers killed now. So we have opened up a really good income advantage, you would hope, from that. Yeah, we have. Yeah, there's been no damage done on the other side of the map at all. So extra MS, Crimson has had all the time in the world at home to do anything she likes, really. So for this not to be saturated. But with that said, good damage done. However, army supply wise, if SpaceLobster moves across the map right now, Crimson is in a bit of trouble. Although now that there's 2 siege tanks in the front and a bunker, that should hold pretty well against Marines. Looking at the upgrades, both players have got combat shield. No stim yet for SpaceLobster. There is cloaking done for these Banshees. So that is fantastic. I'd love to see them actually getting some work done on the other side of the map. SpaceLobster is doing a pretty good job of dropping mules, of spending the energy on the CCs. So, it's this ironic thing that if you're macroing well, that can work against you, because if cloaked Banshees turn up in your base, you don't have any scans to kill them. Now this is going to get interesting. The cloaked Banshees are going to be on the other side of the map. The scan goes down here, so the command centers at home have got no energy left. There are 3 tanks here. This is a lot of tank for SpaceLobster, but SpaceLobster would have to manage this engagement very well. It's gone ahead and pulled everything home, and I'm not sure about that. So Crimson focusing on the starport, not entirely sure why, because this, 2 Banshees, 1 shot of work here, so 4 Banshees split up, 2 here and 2 here, could literally just empty those mineral lines in short order. There is a turret right here, so you've got to be a bit careful. Oh yeah, you can pick off siege tanks all day long, but you have to run as soon as you see the scan. You've got to run. Yeah, so in the end, buildings destroyed, and that is the only starport that SpaceLobster had, and yeah, that does hurt a bit. But SpaceLobster can't afford to rebuild. Are they rebuilding? Not at the minute, no. I wonder, does CrimsonTide know about the push that was on its way across the map? I suspect not. These Banshees still cloaked, that stings a bit. They are just burning through their energy, cloaked for no reason. So don't forget, once you disengage, uncloak the Banshees again to let their energy build back up. Otherwise, when you come in for the second time, you're not going to have any energy. Upgrades wise, SpaceLobster has got +1 for the Marines, and that's great. So a pretty punchy army once you've got +1. Stim would be fantastic as well, but no sign of that being researched, and it would be a very good upgrade. This is enough turrets to defend. There's another one going down here. This is definitely an overreaction. There's none here. You know what I mean? So the Banshees can just fly into the natural and kill pretty much everything. And by the time those units got back here, these Banshees can and will have done a lot of damage. They will clean up remarkably quickly. As you can see, their crunching through this work is pretty fast. So what's in the production tab? Let's take a look. Not much for CrimsonTide, it has to be said. One upgrade is on the back burner, and that CrimsonTide is why you've got 4,000 and 1,400 in the bank. SpaceLobster, meanwhile, building Marines, building tanks, building medevacs. Cattle bruisers, love it. Everybody loves to see a cattle bruiser in the game. So SpaceLobster, a bit of house management here. You need to redistribute the SCVs, get those mining. But these Banshees have done such an important job because they have kept SpaceLobster at home. If SpaceLobster was on the other side of the map knocking on the door, it could be a handful. There are 4 siege tanks here, 5 siege tanks. There are a lot of Marines. However, this engagement, you know, the medevacs turning up on their own, nobody ever likes to see that. SpaceLobster, you may want to destroy this debris. This needs to be managed well. So SpaceLobster needs to siege up the tanks for moving into this engage. That isn't what's happened, and as a result, the Marines are taking a heavy testing. The tanks still not siege. Oh, this is disgusting. No, everything's going to die. It's going to get murdered. Finally, the siege up happens, but there's too much in the back for CrimsonTide. Surely, the tank line for CrimsonTide is going to hold. Is it? It's not. It's not. Tell you what, I did not think that was going to pan out for the Lobster. Turns out you can just do that if you've got enough army. Now, what's happening on the other side of the map? There's BCs in demand. There are Banshees going ham. If the Banshees were at home, you know, or indeed if one BC came home, it could clean up all of these siege tanks, because BCs are brutes and they can, of course, teleport, but maybe they teleport them in. However, what is I don't even know what's going to happen anymore, not going to lie. There's nothing in production in CrimsonTide's best. I'm curious about that. There's a lot of money in the bank, there's a lot of supply available, there's an army knocking at your door. Why wouldn't you be building things? Why aren't there siege tanks in production, Marine in production, bunkers in production? Nothing though, literally just nada zip. There's 2 Banshees in production. I mean, okay, I guess. But look, you've got Banshees over here, and you know, if they've got enough energy left for Cloak, they could definitely be cleaning this army up. If the BC's focused on the CC, it can't do anything to scan. I think Crimson is going to get this. I think, because, oh, it's a planetary. It's a planetary. Oh yeah, we've got a flying building. I'll tell you why, because Crimson can fly a command center in the corner, and Lobster has no way of getting to it, nothing but flies. Whereas the battle cruisers can fly, so SpaceLobster cannot get away with the building. Interesting again, I felt that engage at the front door wasn't managed that well, but nevertheless, SpaceLobster did have enough to bust on through. Well, you know, the Marines were +1 or whatever, so in the end it was enough to bust through. The best trade scenario is it's always a fiddly business against Terran because of the flying buildings. So if I am CrimsonTide, I'm putting this somewhere where Marines can't shoot it. Is where that needs to be. You've got a planetary here, which is great. Let's speed things along. Everything in the main is going to die. That goes without saying. Everything in the main here is going to die. So this has been fun. Yeah, it's definitely GG. That's it. SpaceLobster can't do anything about that. Can't fly anymore. So is surface houses essentially. Crimson is synthesizers. Yeah, close game though. 27 kills on that battle cruiser, 19 kills on the cruise, not this big. Yeah, comes up good. Well, I never knew that. I literally playing StarCraft for 13 years. I didn't know. I didn't know the kill count included buildings. Oh, there you go. No way. You learn something new every single day. So, SpaceLobster is going to try and find Crimson Space and clean it up before all of this is dead. But it isn't going to work because Crimson can just fly about the place like a loon and will do. So, yeah, even when the planetary goes down, and this is enough siege tank to. You don't really need to be losing anything to this point. The siege tanks are pull the Marines back and let the siege tanks do the job. That's all over. All of buildings dead. Interesting game. Yeah, very interesting. GG.